But as you can see, everything else is the same. Hey, you see what's behind me? I've got a fun project that I've got to do. This is something that has been bugging me now. I guess the issue started back in May. It's an issue concerning the ABS and traction control system. It's a known issue for these trucks. Let me drop a video in here right now explaining this problem and how it came about. We were in this truck driving around on Friday looking at vehicles. No problem with that truck. We walked out of the dealership. She got in her truck. She said, "Dad, I'll follow you home." She kind of knew where she was, just getting out of the city, the town there. She said, "Dad, I'll follow you home." So jumped in my truck. No problems with it when I parked it in the dealership lot. When I jumped in it, started it up immediately, the light came on that says service electronic brake control and service anti-lock braking systems. What the hell? So I drove a ways, it turned off, then it came on. The whole way home, those two lights continued coming on and off, and each time it comes on, it dings at you and flashes a message on the screen. No issues whatsoever. The truck just went out of warranty 2.5 months ago, so of course that's the way things happen. But no issues up until that point. Drove it all day with no issues. So I've been doing a little bit of reading online. Looks like it's the HCU and the brake control module, I think. HCU is the hydraulic control unit, and then there's a module attached to that unit. So some people say you replace that, it can cost up to $2,000 if you take it from the dealer. That seems to fix it for a while, but then that issue may come back. Then the other issue I've read is those parts are on back order, or some of those parts are on back order, have been for 6 months. Ram will not do a recall. It's a known issue apparently on these trucks. When you type in that problem, lots of issues, lots of people's complaints come up about this issue on those trucks. Another person, I watched a YouTube video, he just took his connector off and cleaned that up, put it on, it worked fine. Another person did a good pressure washing around the brake, the wheels and the brakes. Apparently some brake dust can build up on the sensors on those wheels, and that seemed to have fixed his problem. But most people are doing a replacement of parts of, up to $2,000. So I'll get into that at some point when I have some time and do the easy stuff first with the cleaning and the electrical connection. So I think the issue only affects the 17 and 18 model year trucks from what I am reading. Ram just did a recall a couple of weeks ago on a brake issue on their 1500s. I was hoping the recall was going to include this truck, but no, it doesn't look like it does. And I think the 1500 issue is a little bit different than what we're having on the 2500s. So I've been putting this fix off because of the cost and because of the complication of it. I happened to get on the forums, the Cummins, I think it's the Cummins forums. Cumminsforum.com, about 2 weeks ago, and did a search on this issue, and lo and behold, someone came up with a much easier fix for this. So I'm going to attempt this fix today. So the fix was the electric motor. There's a small electric, I won't know if, motor solenoid, something of that nature, on top of the hydraulic control unit. So I haven't taken anything out of the truck yet. So this is a hydraulic control unit from a, what is it, a 2011 Ram 1500. So according to this guy on the forums who found this fix, this piece here is what goes bad. It's an electrical issue in here. There is some corrosion that happens within this solenoid or motor or something. I think a lot of the Ram trucks use this same body, the same motor. What has happened in the 17 and 18 model years is they went to a different supplier for these. The quality isn't there. So this guy has determined that you can replace just this part without replacing the entire unit here, because you would have all these brake lines that go into this unit that you would have to bleed, and I think you actually have to do some programming as well. But he has determined, for some reason, a 2011 Dodge 1500 works on this. Maybe this was a good year. So I went on eBay, found a used one here. Cost me about $120, I think. I'm going to attempt this fix today. Now, some of the guys on the forum that replied to this guy said, oh yeah, okay, they've taken it apart. Then they took the actual solenoid apart here and found out there's some corrosion inside. They were able to fix the corrosion on the solenoid that they had and put that back on. Well, I'm not going to take that chance. Apparently there's a spring in there that you can lose or it can break, and that becomes an issue. So if I'm going to take this apart, I want to have everything here together. So for $120, I purchased the whole unit. So I'll just switch this out, and then I'll take mine apart and look inside and see what it's all about. So let's see if I can be successful with this. I'm going to have to take the fender well lining out here. That unit is right behind here. So I'm going to have to take that out. And then it's the wrench, the socket to go on top of there to take these two screws out. But then when you put this back in, everybody says, go to AutoZone and get the $7 feeler gauge kit, because the solenoid that is in here goes over top of, I guess, a shaft that comes up from this unit. And that solenoid closes up against that shaft. Well, you have to open the two pieces up inside of there to push it back down on there. And in order to do that, everybody has found the trick is to use these feeler gauges to put up in there to force it open as you're pressing it down on there. So I think once I take it all apart, it'll become much clearer. Aha, yes, so I see what they're talking about. So this shaft here goes down, and you see those two pins coming out. You have to pry those pins open in order to put that back down in there. And so how you're supposed to do that, two of these, I think I have to take it apart, and you put one down on each side like that. So apparently you put that down in there, and because of the angle that is in there, you then can put this in like that. That separates them, and then you pull these out, and people say you should tie something on here in order to pull them out. Let's see. Of course, we have plenty of room here to practice. Once I get up in there, I won't have as much room, I guess. There we go. Okay. There. And then that goes down on there flat. Put your screws in. All right. So that's how you do it on the one that's off of the truck. Let's see if I can do it for the one that is on the truck. The unit I'm after is right behind here, so I've got a couple of screws to take that cover off. Let me move that piece of rubber up because that's in my way. All right, if you drop the screw, you have 2 extras that came in that other piece, but I'd prefer not to drop the screw. And there, I dropped it. Right there. Okay, I did not drop that screw. And now this thing just pulls out of here. All right, just like that. Okay. But as you can see, everything else is the same. This cover is supposed to slide off and reveal all the innards inside of there. I'll have to go back and read through that form thread to see if I'm doing it properly. Okay, now to get this one in here and hold these pieces in and all that good stuff, let's see if we can do that. I just happen to have some rope here that I can tie onto here. We'll see if that makes a difference. Okay, let's see how this goes. All right, this is the one here. All right, I think let's attempt this. All right, I may need more than one hand to do this. Okay, this is going to be a little trying here. Now, I think some people did put something up on the ends of here, some type of grease just to hold these things in place. Oh, yeah, okay, well that might be okay there. All right, that will go there. All right. All right, now. All right, now I gotta hold that and then pull these out. There, okay, I got that one out. Now, what about the other one? Yeah, that one's gonna be a little more difficult on that back side. But I think I can twist it around here. There we go, okay. Twist, oh, did I lose it? I think. Yes, I lost it. Okay. Now, some people did mention getting a screw started to hold that in there, but the screws don't appear to be long enough.
So let's try this again. All right, now to try to get this in there and line it up again. So let's push those apart. Now, let's try this again. All right, that one is out. Okay. Now, what I need to do is pull that one around to the top. All right, stay in there. Don't pop out of there on me. Pull this string through here. There we go. And yes, that is on there. All right, let me get my screws. All right, I got one screw in. Can I get this other screw that fell down here? Right there, got it. And all right, slip that back down there. Okay, that is on there. So I won't really know. Well, I guess I will know. Since this was an intermittent issue, I'll know as soon as I start up. If the light comes on, then that didn't fix it. Now the light was off when I pulled it in here. I think it came on twice today. I went to the bank and to Napa, the insurance company. Went to a couple different places. I think it came on twice in my trip today. But then it went off, and it was not on when I pulled in here. If I start it up and the light is on, that didn't fix it. But if the light is off, I'll just have to drive it to know if it fixed it or not. All right, let's start it up and see what happens. All right, no light. I've pressed on the brake. Not that pressing on the brake has anything to do with it. Okay. So hopefully my problem is fixed. I just need to figure out how to pull this apart now because I want to look inside and see if mine is corroded, and that'll tell me if this is the issue or not. All right, these are all the tools that I used for this project. This is a 1/4-inch socket, 1/4-inch drive with an extension, and that was to take the 2 screws here to pull this motor off of there. The feeler gauge from AutoZone, which was I think $6.99 plus tax. I just used the 2 smallest ones on the clip. And then to take the fender well out, I had a 8mm and a 10mm socket, and I needed an extra battery for my GoPro. Although if I'd have started with a full battery, I wouldn't have needed this one, but I only had a 30% charge on it, so that didn't last through the job. And yeah, that should fix your problems if you've got a 2017 or 2018 Ram 2500 giving you the ABS traction control lights that are flashing on and off. I'm determined to get this thing apart. This side has started coming up. All right, there we go. All right, well, maybe that's not my issue because this looks clean inside. But what people are talking about on the forums is, let me get a smaller screwdriver here. So people are talking about on the forums, this spring right here is corroded, and that spring is not pushing down against, it's not pushing the piece down against here. Well, let's see here. All right, this one is, that one moves. You see it moving? All right, let's see. Does this one move? Ah, yes. This one here is stuck. Yep, this one is stuck. Okay, so that is probably my issue, because I can push it down. There we go. But this is not moving freely. So some people on the forums have taken this apart and cleaned it up a little bit so it moves up and down freely, but then they end up losing this spring right here or breaking that spring off. And I'm not sure how they pulled it apart. Did they? They must have pulled this all the way off. Is it just pressed in there? All right, you're not going to be able to see it, but there's a gap in here now, and this brush is not going up against here because there's something going on in there. So I just pushed it down on there. Okay. So, hey, am I glowing today? So the other thing, as I was reading through this forum again, is a Chevy Equinox also uses the same motor. What was it, a 2000? I probably won't find it now. Some people just go to a junkyard. If you can find a junkyard with a 1500, 2008, what did I say? This one was a 2015, no, 2011, 2008 to 2011, 1500 Ram with the ABS system on it. Just go to the junkyard, pull the motor off, you're good to go. Chevy Equinox 2007, same thing. As I said, I just went on eBay, searched for 2011 HCU for 1500 Ram, and got this 100. Let me see if I can tell you. Hold on. Do I still have that email? Okay, so mine was $79.99, $19.99 for shipping, sales tax, $4.80, $104.78. That was on eBay. I refuse to go to Amazon and shop Amazon. They have a monopoly on everything. They're putting small businesses out of business. I try to stay away from them. Yes, every now and then I have my daughter get something for me from Amazon that I can't find elsewhere, or maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I don't have an Amazon account myself. Usually my go-to is eBay. If I want something, I'll go to eBay first. So yeah, you may be able to find this part on Amazon. Let's see, does it have a part number? No, just 2011 Dodge Ram 1500 ABS anti-lock brake pump assembly. Everything is all buttoned up there, and that is done. The next project, I don't need to film this. Hey, a viewer on the video concerning the electrical problem with my skid steer said, hey, go to Napa. And that's what I did. So this was the old switch I took off on my skid steer that I think is part of my problem. The viewer said, go to Napa. They have one for $50 or $60. Sure enough, $58, I think, with the tax. It was about $61. Almost the exact same thing. The only difference is this one doesn't have this little stub to hold it in place to keep it from twisting like that. But that's okay. I can tighten these nuts up enough to hold that in place. So I think I'm going to go ahead and slap that on that skid steer right now. It's Monday, cloudy weather. We've had a light drizzle, just enough to screw things up. We've got another day tomorrow that's supposed to be the same thing, probably a little bit more rain. You know, in total, well, we haven't had any measurable rain today, but in total, over the last 2 weeks, we haven't had a whole lot of rain, but the weather has just been enough that we can't really do anything in the fields. Let me see if I can find this here. I just updated yesterday, I think, with the rainfall. Yeah, okay. Started on about the 17th of September. We had 0.34 inches. The following day we had 0.67. So what's that? About an inch of rain, a little more than right at an inch of rain. 17th and 18th. The 21st we had 0.03 of an inch. The 22nd we had 0.09, so another 0.3, 1.3. And then the 25th we had 0.02. The 27th we had 0.65, and the 28th 0.01. So about 2 inches of rain total is about all we've had, and as dry as it's been, because before that we had not had any rain since September 1st. So altogether in November, we've had just a little bit over 2 inches of rain. So as dry as it is, the ground has for the most part soaked that rain up. So it hasn't made the fields muddy or nasty, but it's just been spaced far enough apart with the clouds in here. It's not drying out where we can get in the field and finish selling that corn. I ran the fan until yesterday morning. Farmer's daughter turned it off for me because it was cloudy like this again yesterday We had a light rain shower yesterday. I think we may have had 0.01 that I did not record on here yet. Today, same thing, so I can't run the fan on the bin for the corn that's already in there. Looks like by Wednesday, this is clearing out, cooling down, less humidity, and so maybe we can get on with the program. All right, that's enough of me rambling, so I'm gonna say, see ya! See ya!